Weekend. Yes, I'm here. Got a little glare. Every time I try to get a good spot for y'all, I seem to just have this glare, but it's all right. We gonna make it do what it do. What's happening, everybody? Happy weekend and all that. And I was just led to talk about a few things. Somebody came to me with a situation. Um, it was a young lady, and I wanted to kind of go into, should he pay to lay? Okay. And when I say lay, I'm not necessarily talking about the clap, even though that comes with it sometimes. But I'm saying, should a brother pay to be in a situation where he can stay and live with a woman? And say, for instance, this young lady, she had a low income rent. Okay. Excuse me, y'all, I'm taking my vitamin. I'm sorry, I apologize. I was supposed to get that in before I pushed record, but it's all good. I'm all real. So she had a low income rent, let's say Section 8. And rent was according to her income, and she had a couple of kids, and so she had a couple of 3 bedrooms, I believe, and rent was fairly low because she was a young lady that was working part-time, and she was also a student, so her rent was low. And of course, she ended up getting into a relationship, because I wanted to touch on that too. I remember back in the day having Section 8 and housing and stuff like that. You was really nervous and scared about having a man around and this and this and that. They know you gonna have a man. They know you had a man because you got them babies, okay? But the man is really not supposed to be living with you. But he could, and if he is, you have to let him know that he is, and then they get all in his business and his income as well, and your rent may change and it may not, or whatever the situation. I don't know, I ain't never had to deal with that, but I know it's a situation and things have changed now. But back to the message. Okay, so her rent is low, and he's been over there practically every day. They in a relationship. They're talking about living together. Now, of course, she wants him to live with her, and she wants to keep it under wraps because she doesn't want to lose her low income housing voucher and things of that nature. So her rent is fairly low. I think she pays about $200 a month. And I can't even imagine $200 a month, okay? When she paying $200 a month, right? And so she wasn't quite honest with him, she said. She has not disclosed being on Section 8 because she didn't feel as though that was his business. They were dating, they were living in a household together or getting ready to. That's her due. May be her due today, may not be her due tomorrow. Who knows? Let's turn this volume up. Okay. Okay, there we go. May not be her due tomorrow. Who knows? So anyway, she she did not want to disclose her business to him. That could come back later to bite her in case they broke up or whatever. So she let it be known that her rent was $2,500 a month, 3 bedroom, and he was like, we winning. 3 bedroom, 2,500. You pay half, I pay half. Good, 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 right? All along, she was being deceptive. So he ended up moving in. She ended up winning because now she has half of that 2,500. She only pays 200. She got half of that 2,500 plus. okay? And she balling. She's saving her money, and that's what she's gonna do. But her conscience is messing with her because she's getting more and more deeper into this thing with this dude. And when her inspections come up for housing, she kind of finds a way to schedule the inspection around the time that he ain't gonna be there, or she think he ain't gonna be there, or she don't want him to be there, or he's at work, whatever. I don't know. She go through this big old mess. They don't go through your closets and all that, so she just kind of cleans up and tucks things a little bit, and everything's cool. Now, she came to me because she's feeling like she's not being honest. She's feeling like she's being deceptive. She cares about this person, and if this person comes back later and finds out, if it comes out later and he finds out that she was deceptive, it can just tear up the whole relationship totally. And I wanted to talk about that because there are some women who, and some men get Section 8 too, and they end up, you know, having the kids, and they end up playing games and all that stuff. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're gonna move them in on your rental Section 8 or whatever, I mean, why not be honest, right? I mean, you can, you know, without putting all your business out there, you can say, well, I need X amount of dollars towards rent and expenses, blah, blah, blah. I do have Section 8. Now, of course, most are going to want to know, well, how much is your rent? You know, and a lot of times they're going to feel like they're being taken advantage of. Most of the time, if you say your rent is $200 and you asking them for $1,500 or $1,800 a month, which it does cost more to have an extra person. You got extra water, you got extra garbage, you got, you know, extra PG&E, you got extra food. Things gets kind of expensive when you got an extra person. So, you know, a real a man that's trying to really help and be there to balance is going to put it on the table. Any kind of way you're asking within his means, he's going to put it on the table. But is she wrong for not telling him she has Section 8? And is she wrong for telling him that her rent is so high and it's not? Because that's a big deception. And I'm sorry, there's people who actually do this. Not only this lady who has come to me, but I have heard over the years some folks saying, you know, I ain't letting him know. He ain't gonna know how much I pay in rent. I'm gonna get whatever. If he wants to move in here, he's gonna have to give me one. And that's it, and that's all. He ain't gonna know I pay $50. Why should I tell him? Excuse me, we got motorcycle action going on this beautiful day. Why should I tell him I pay $50 and he only paid me $25? What sense that made? That's crazy. Where could he live for $25? Plus some free clapping, food, cleaning, washing. No. And that's why I say the best thing, until you are embarking upon a marital direction, the best thing, is he has his and you have yours. And if you guys want to spend the night at each other's house here and there, you know, he may be at your house a couple times a week, you may be at his house a couple times a week, and you guys just do it like that until you come to the conclusion that you both want to walk the same walk, talk the same talk, and get married. You know, I'm not totally against if you are engaged and there is a ring put on it, that I'm not totally against living together at that point. Not a long engagement. There's folks who have engagements that's 5 years. Who the heck? What? You just bought me a ring just because you just wanted to buy me a ring. Because 5 years engagement? We could have changed our mind 10 times, okay? So I'm talking about a reasonable engagement. Usually when somebody gets engaged, either it's 6 months to a year. Boom, bam. You're going to do that, right? So if you're going in that direction and the decision has been made to move together for whatever reason, then okay, you're going the same direction, walking the same walk, talking the same talk. However, if you can both keep your own places until you actually do get married, that is the number one best. That's number one best. Because when you're under the same roof, you're sharing everything as if you are married. You're sharing bills, you're sharing household duties, you're sharing protective duties, you're sharing the clap duties, you're sharing everything, okay? Some people even open up accounts together. They have their own stuff. Now, you always got to have, your own stuff, but they may open up them, and that's another topic for another video, but they will open up something together and start planning together. That's okay. That's okay. But you're not married. And so what happens when you end up, something happens where you break up? Or a lot of times there becomes this friction and this thing where you get into this big old hoo-ha-ha, and the first thing a person want to do is take away what they've invested. Give me my, and I want my, and give me my money, and do this and do that. And that car note I'm paying half, I'm going to stop paying half on that car note because you're going to have to pay it yourself. And they just do drastic measures because they funkin', and they do silly stuff, and then they end up getting back together, and then it's like, okay, now what? All right. So certain type of investments should really wait until you are embarked upon that path of matrimony, and you know that you're going to be a helpmate for each other, and you're going to do this thing together. Otherwise, nah, it's too much. You can lose out in a big way, and it'll be harder to fight for what's yours after the fact, and you wasn't married, and some are firm believers in getting the prenuptial before getting married, depending on what you have and what you could lose in the case that things don't work out right. They are adamant about, let's get a prenuptial. We need to get a prenuptial. You need to be on the same page with this. This is what it says legally. I got my attorney here. I got a notary here. Read it over, and either you in it to win it or you ain't. If you ain't, we can't do this. And they put that ultimatum down on the table, and you got to be with it or you got to be out of it. And it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't want what they want with you. It's just they're protecting their interests of things that they obtained before you. Okay? So, that's something to think about. But in the case of your rent, a lady's rent, or it could be a man, but we're talking about women now. A woman's rent is low because of her Section 8 voucher, and she moves her man in. Should she or should she not be honest about how much her rent is? And should he only pay half of the rent, with it being low, or whatever it is? Because some women are on Section 8 and their rent is pretty high because they're working. And I got a situation. I haven't had that in a minute during the video, but their rent is pretty high because their income is kind of climbed up, but they still qualify for the Section 8. I mean, that's being honest about it, and then they don't have a problem throwing that on the table. But when that rent is low, and most know about Section 8. They know that Section 8 goes according to your income. He's seeing that you working part-time, you going to school, you got 2 kids, so your rent ain't gonna be that much. But you're telling him it's $2,500 a month, and you won't. Is that right, y'all? Is that right? Is it right for a woman to do a man like that? I just believe in keeping it 100. Keep it 100. Keep it real. If you're with someone or pursuing and you to the point where you want to live together, because if you are at that point of wanting to live together, then that must be going down a serious road. It got to, because you ain't gonna just room and, you know, as far as living together on a relationship level. Now, it's another thing to live together is just friend renting a room or something. I'm talking about a relationship level. You're moving together on that level. You must be trying to walk the same walk, talk the same talk, right? So if it's gotten to that point of seriousness, then you should be upfront honest. Everyone is, not everyone, but a lot of people are opportunists. They look for an opportunity to get ahead, to come up, to gain something, to invest in something that they feel will benefit them in some kind of way. They may not have much that they can benefit off of themselves, that you can benefit off of, but they sure want looking out for trying to benefit off of you. So I remember years ago, a man, when he met a woman that had Section 8, he was like, yes, yes. He was winning because he knew that she had her stuff in the system. Her rent wasn't going to be that high, and he wanted to move on in with that woman. That's how it was then. Now, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know how they get down with that now. With the homeless situation and with rents as high as it is, you probably feel like you hitting a gold mine nowadays if you got a woman with a Section 8 voucher, right? Section 8, but I gotta call you back. I gotta call you back. I'm doing a video. If she got a Section 8 voucher, you may feel like you winning. Okay? But all good things at some point come to an end sooner or later. And hopefully she doesn't get caught doing things she's not supposed to do. Because trust me, it could be a felony charge for doing some little sneaky stuff and getting caught up in it, okay? And they do know that you're going to have relationships. You're going to have a man. You're going to have a woman. You're going to be doing the do. You're going to be spending the night. They know all that. It's just once you get to doing that moving in situation. So, with that being said, all our Section 8 people out there, if you move somebody in, be honest about what the share of the rent should be. I know that's exposing yourself. I know, it is. But you exposing yourself anyway, because you already are in it in a very serious way when you allow someone in your space and you are taking up the roles of pretty much husband and wife. Because what is it that you don't do when you are in a relationship like that, living together? What is it that you don't do that you wouldn't do if you was married? You're doing it all. You're sharing bills. You're cooking. You're cleaning. You're sexing. You're doing it all. You're investing. You see what I'm saying? So there's things that you're just living that married life, but you just don't have the paperwork and the certification that, okay, we are one. And it's easier to walk out and walk away from a situation that you have no ties to like that, and especially if you don't have any children and you haven't married. It's like, okay, bye, peace, I'm gone. Now, video froze on me, so I guess that's telling me something. So anyway, you guys, I want to end this one, but I just wanted to put something on your mind. This woman, she wants some questions answered. She wants to know what to do because her conscience is beating her upside the head. So she wants to know if she should tell him. Should she tell him, grown folks, that she has Section 8, or should she just keep it the way it is? She done already lied, $2,500 a month. What's she gonna say? Oh, they gave me a discount. I don't know what happened. They was giving out voucher plans or something, but they put my rent from $2,500 to $200. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? So she can go that way and lie some more, or she can just say, look, I just don't tell people my business up front. I know we've been together for a couple of years and I'm caring about you, caring about me, but I don't feel comfortable just putting it out there. And I had told you in the beginning that my rent was X amount of dollars. And actually, I think she said she had told him before he wanted to move in that it was $2,500, and he was calling himself trying to help her pay his rent where he was too, and help her a little bit, not paying half of the rent, but he would give her a little money here and there to help her out. Now he's willing to move in and split everything down the middle. $2,500 a month rent, and she really paying $200. Wow. Think about that one. Let me know how you feel and what you're thinking. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.